This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
This Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop. March 5th to the 7th, 2021. Atlanta, Georgia. Ranger Stop 8. November 11th to the 14th, 2021. Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets now.
Da 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 da. Oh yeah.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime, and all down here in the deep blue sea.
Oh, okay.
F is for fire.
This episode holds a very special place in my heart because it features a Wonder Ride book based on a story from my childhood. So here we go.
Oh my god. Anyways, what is up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Writer Time Podcast. Henshin a Go-Go, baby. I am Leo, aka Psycho Fox, aka Kamen Rider Compton Knight, because we all out here flexing in these streets. Right here is my boy Mike, aka Time Rider Z. Henshin a Go-Go, baby. Anyways.
Henshin, how you doing, everyone?
It's been a couple of weeks.
Having a great week. Hope you enjoyed the hiatus from last week. I certainly needed it from stuff I had to do.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since the last Writer Time podcast, and we are back with a brand new episode of Kamen Rider Saber, entitled Overlap the Swordsman's Timbre. Anyways, Timbre. Oh, that's Timbre? Okay, never mind.
It's a musical term.
It's like theater. It's like so when you spell theater, you put the R before the E and stuff like that. Okay, I get it. Anyway,
yeah. Well, enjoy you spelling all these Italian words in your spelling bee, like staccato, legato, presto, largo.
This is why I never did. This is why I never did spelling bees as a child. This is exactly why. I mean, I did a couple of spelling bees, but I was never trying to go pro, okay? But before there was esports, there were spelling bees. I never did the spelling bees. So, but that being said, guys, hopefully everyone's having a great day. And we're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, so I can easily say we won't be here on that Thursday for Thanksgiving because we're going to be with our families and stuff like that. So, there you go. That being said, let's talk about episode 9 of Kamen Rider Saber. And finally, Slash is back. He is back to form. Tetsuo is the final Kamen Rider. So we have all the Kamen Rider Rangers. We got Buster, Saber, Blade, Espada, Kennen, and Slash. Slash is the 6th Ranger. I mean Kamen Rider.
And what's interesting is that when they did the opening sequence, they changed it up so that you see like the 6 babyface riders like lined up.
Yeah, pretty much. So like, yeah, where is it safe to say? Can we kind of like make Power Rangers references now since we have an entire Kamen Rider team? All right. So
funny said this season's been getting some hate from the Japanese audience for looking too much like a toy commercial. I'm like, you just now figured it out?
Wait, okay,
like,
hold on. The people of the Japanese fan base of Kamen Rider are not like it because it's looking more like toys.
Yep. like a toy commercial.
I'm sorry. Weren't there several seasons of Kamen Rider within the last 4 or 5 years where they legit had toys like Xaid and Build and Forze, which Forze had his own. And Forza had his own Megazord. And how many Progress keys do we need until it's enough in Kamen Rider 01? How many Progress keys are there now?
Like let's not forget 53 Rouse cards minimum. You got what's called. You need 4 Zectors to complete the Hyper Zector. You need 4 train tickets to complete your what's it called? Your Deno belt. You need all 6 Westlers. You need all of the Gumba Ride cards for Decade. You need all 26 Gaia memories. You need all 24 core medals, all 40 Astro Switches. Who knows how many rings? I lost count. Lock seats. I got a whole bag of lock seats right here. I got a whole bag of lock seats right here, and this isn't even half of what I have.
You know, coming from someone who I honestly buy the morphers to Power Rangers, and I am honestly gonna go probably start buying a lot of the Henshin belts from Kamen Rider, specifically maybe like Forze and O's and Saber at one point, but that's just too much.
Yeah.
And now people are complaining.
Let's not forget shift cards, icons, gunshots, full bottles, rider watches, progress keys, and now rider books. And only now you figured out that it's a toy commercial.
Anyways, let's talk about this episode. So, Castle, our narrator, lets us know how dope Toma has become, because Toma now has the King Arthur Wonder Book and has now reached a brand new form. And we see in the last episode that the King Arthur Megazord popped up and used Toma as a sword to kill one of the Medusas. I talked about how silly that was, but even though it's Kamen Rider, and I will say this real quick before we get into it, I really like this episode. There's one issue I have with it. I didn't think that they're going to repeat it, but they did. I'll discuss in a minute. So Toma right now is having writer's block. He does not know what he wants to write about, and May's trying to give him some ideas. Meanwhile, go ahead.
Yeah. So he's like, what about a story about a daddy, sword fighter, or maybe a guy on a lion, or maybe a guy with the genie lamp with daddy issues. Oh, I don't know. I can't decide. I don't know. Something's missing here. But we go elsewhere to the Magids, where Legiel and Zuos are having a spat with Storius, and Storius is like, guys, trust me, I got this. I have the perfect idea to keep on making that wooden hand write more lines in that book, and Caliber is like, yes, we got these 3 books, and the writers have all of those books, and if we can combine all those powers, we could make something even more powerful than Arthur.
Exactly. And so they then make several monsters. They're called quacks, the quack majids or something like that. Yeah. And they come in sets. So there's like 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah. While that's going on, Sophia and Mr. Ogami, or Kamen Rider Buster, or Kamen Rider Cloud. I'm gonna call him Kamen Rider Cloud because it's Cloud from Final Fantasy with body armor. Let's just keep it 100. Mm-hmm. So Ogami and Kennen go somewhere else, right? While Rentaro, Kento, and Kento is the green Kamen Rider, right?
No. Kento's Ren is Kenzan.
I get Rentaro and Ren mixed up sometimes. It's too many R's. So while they're out, the May comes into the logos and she sees one of the books is glowing. So now she's become.
And let's quickly mention the fact that they put a lot of emphasis on how great Tetsuo is at fixing weapons. He is such a great blacksmith and nothing else.
Chekhov's gun. May now has the ability to see what's going on in these books, and one of the books starts to glow, and she sees that one part of Japan is under attack. So essentially, May is now clock tower slash no, not what clock tower, watchtower slash oracle slash what was Felicity's name in Arrow? Overwatch. So she's watchtower slash Overwatch slash oracle. So pretty much she's Batgirl, the Watchtower, Chloe from Smallville, and Felicity all wrapped up in one.
I'm not gonna stop making fun of that one line of dialogue from Arrow season 7, where it's
go ahead.
I need to get to Overwatch. What's Overwatch? Long pause. We need a computer fast. And I'm like, and it's like we need we need to get to Overwatch. What's Overwatch? The greatest PC game ever. And they're like, we need a computer. Keep in mind, this was before what happened in China.
Oh. Anyways, so Rentaro, Kento, and Toma go to fight these things. Everyone has their Wonder Ride books. They're getting set. They're fighting all these monsters. The only thing is one of the monsters is invisible, so he pretty much cuts all three of them off and all three of them get their butts kicked.
And he's basically the number 5 of what's the legal way of saying it? 6 bullets from Ventoreo, because he's the one that the other ones are picking on. And right. I'm thinking this has to be Ugly Duckling. And I'm here thinking, so let me guess. Turns out he's not really a duckling Magid, but he's actually a swan Magid who needs to evolve first. Right? But yeah, he's got invisibility powers, and of course they try to dispatch with the duckling Magids. And when you know who shows up, a little bit of the bubbly, and he's like, "Daddy wasn't there." Hold on. Daddy, why were you there for me, Daddy?
Listen, funny enough, I'm about to go buy the Dark Saber once this is over, because they're selling the Dark Saber at Target right now. But I digress. So
I know I decided not to get it because it doesn't retract. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the big lightsaber companies is going to make a retractable Dark Saber. I digress. Anyways, so Caliber shows up and Kento's the first one to get smoked. He just annihilates him, then takes out Toma, then takes out Rentaro. Using
their books.
Yeah, he takes each of their books, and pretty much. Also, he duct tapes them. He uses the ability that makes them trapped. Meanwhile, we'll get to her. We're gonna get to her in a minute. Meanwhile, Tetsuo is seeing all this go down. May and Sophia are like, oh god, they're all getting their ass kicked. So finally, Tetsuo takes his sword, and we cut the commercial. The next thing we can see is as Caliber is about to kill the rest of the Kamen Riders.
First, May does try to follow in after him, because May, like, why do you keep following in after everyone? But out of nowhere, this lady shows up at the base, and Sophia's like, you, and they cut to Tetsuo entering the scene, and first of all, I'm curious who this woman is, because they don't say who she is.
It has to be somebody's mama.
And I think somebody's
mama.
Like, I'm thinking, like, her hair looks very similar to Tetsuo's. Wouldn't it be interesting if she was the Gretel to his Hansel?
Yeah. Real quick, before we get to Tetsuo's awesome debut,
Mhm.
Toma and Kento. I gotta sit you two down. Well, the last time we did this podcast, I made a joke saying they turned Saber into another Shonen Jump, where Toma is talking about fighting for his friends. Now, I gave that a pass because this is an episode about King Arthur's book, and the only way for Toma to access the full power of the King Arthur Wonder Book was to not fight alone, but to fight alongside Ren, Rentaro, and Kento, and because that was the only way they were gonna get Ogami back and save the city, because it's King Arthur's Round Table. I get that. I understand for the plot of that, that's fine. But when you start talking about you betrayed your friends, that's what friends do. Friends fight for one another. Friends. I'm over here getting shot glasses ready and taking each and every shot every time they mention the word friends. It is like listening to Kingdom Hearts, where every time you hear the words light, heart, darkness, friendship, take a shot each and every time.
Or just listening to Taya for in any given episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship is the greatest power in the entire world. Nothing can defeat the power of friendship. Did I mention friendship is so great? Friendship!
It got tiring, I ain't going front. But what did save it is Kamen Rider Slash. Because Kento comes in with a bit with I honestly low-key thought that was the samurai swords from freaking Power Rangers Samurai. Puts his Wonder Book in there and turns into the Hansel and Gretel, which is Hansel and Gretel, and turns to Kamen Rider Slash, which you would think he was going to be like the silent fighter.
Yeah.
He looks pretty dope with that leather jacket on. You thought he was going to be the silent fighter until he pulls out the other book, which is essentially the Sound of Music.
Okay, no.
You can take this part. You can take this part. Take it. Go ahead.
The book is the writer book is called a Bremen no Rock Band, which is basically the Slavic folktale that I grew up with, called in Russian it's called Bremenski Muzikante. It's about a musician who has a band with a dog, a cat, a rooster, and a donkey, and each of them has their own instrument. They're a band, and the lead singer, he falls in love with this princess while performing. The king's not cool with it, so then they pretend to be bandits to kidnap the king and then save him, and so then they get his blessings, and then there's a part 2 that I'm not going to go into, but it's a charming fairy tale, and it's got great songs in it. It even has what's it called, an R&B version of a bedtime story. I'm not even joking. Yes.
Okay.
It goes like dun, dun, Bayou, Bayou, Shki Bayou, dun 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 dun. Anyways,
I can get with that. Yo, to everyone out there, yo, find that song, dance to your lady with that. Just saying, over a candle at dinner. Go ahead.
Okay, so he becomes Slash Bremen Rock Band, and what's really cool is that you see the 4 animals and the respective instruments going down his arm. And what I find interesting is that when he uses that book, his personality completely changes. He's like, wow, party night!
He becomes the lost cast member of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Slash Star Ninja from Ninja.
Jack Black's character from Brutal Legend. Hi, Adacho Naito. There you go.
Okay. So he's just wrecking everything up in this fight, and it is glorious. And of course, in his fanfare, he ends up managing to use his disc. Oh, by the way, do we mention about how he was able to dodge the invisible duckling?
Oh no, we didn't. So
right, so before he transforms, the invisible duckling like runs at him, and you could hear like a vibration in his ear, and it's like whoosh. That's actually from this clip right here, because there's the duckling like being invisible, and he's like backing out of the way as he's running past him.
I can see him. So we can't have a point, like a laser pointer to show that, but still.
You don't have a laser pointer, but it's so cool. And so he has like impeccable hearing abilities, and he uses his discordial sound waves to knock back Caliber and recover some of the Wonder Ride books that he's stolen, including Sayo Journey, which is based off of A Journey to the West, thus completing Toma's 3-book set. He's finally complete. All reds.
He is the ultimate red Kamen Rider. He you know what it reminds me of? He looks like in a Kamen Rider Infernal Falcon's big bad big brother.
I low-key want it, like, because of the whole like 3 gimmick toy set thing with them matching colors and the fact that he's got fire powers and wings. I'm thinking Der Schnittpunkt von 2 Wünsche, ein Leistung von 2, time judges all, Tajadoru.
Oh my god.
Time judges all.
Anyways, but no, it was cool. Real quick, before we finish up, can I just say this? I really now. You know how I feel about the henchins in this show. I think they're really cool, and I really wish that they would show more of it outside, because Tetsuo's is the first one we've seen in the last couple of episodes where you see the full-on transformation scene. But I really like the transformation of Kento, Rentaro, and Toma, where they're actually fighting the monsters as they're putting their Wonder Ride books into their sabers. I really like that. That was really cool. And as when they hench it, they're taking down the monster, and you hear their roll call. I really like that. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kyorager when they morph, where like when they have to do that dance, like sometimes they fight monsters while they do the dance. And I really appreciate that. And so Toma Tajadol form, which is what I'm going to call him from now on. Toma Tajadol basically mops the floor with all of the ducklings. Like he's just blazes them all. And then the only thing
not really. He didn't blaze them all. They all, like, Rentaro and Kento took out their respective ducks.
Oh yeah. So he blazed most of them. But you see the other 2 take out their respective ones. So it looks flashy. Everyone's got a bit of spotlight. But then the last duckling, the ugliest one of them all, like he sets another fire blast towards Caliber. And Caliber, being the scum that he is, just pulls it like, yoink, you're going to take this one from me. Bye.
You know what that reminded me of? In the BoJack Unbound Dragon Ball Z movie, where BoJack took home chick Zelephia or wherever the chick, he threw her into Gohan when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, threw her into him as he's shooting a Kamehameha at her and blows her to smithereens. That's what that reminded me of. And if you're taking bets on how many times we've referenced Dragon Ball Z, I think this is actually referenced number 52. There you go. Continue.
Right. And so like this was like
Dragon Ball Z.
This is like an inverse version of Jin dying, where instead of like, you could have just knocked him out of the way, he's like, no, I'm getting you in the way.
Dude, please don't remind me of how Jin died in Kamen Rider 01. That was the dumbest thing.
And in both versions, the target was a purple rider.
Anyways.
Never trust the purple riders.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, am I wrong? You got
no.
Oja?
Hold up, wait. I can debate this because in Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, they trusted was it Price or Chance? Which one was Price? They trusted Price when they got the original Kamen Riders back to fight Xaviax in the last.
But when they trusted GTC, they paid the price.
Yeah, we're talking about price, not.
But like in the Japanese version though, Ryuki, serial killer. Let's see. Yeah, Ryuki, serial killer. Hibiki doesn't train his students. Kabuto, one of us is an imposter. Deno, secretly heel turn. Let's see. What? Okay, there wasn't one. Okay,
0-1.
There wasn't one. Okay, there wasn't one in Kiva, but in what's it called? In what's it called? O's heel turn. In let's see.
Build.
Let's see. Build. Yes, build. Rogue was a heel turn for most of the series. Let's see. Exade. Yes. Technically, he's black, but he's got the purple decal.
He's black, but he's
black. But he got purple.
So everyone who wears black is a bad guy in X-Ray. This is the reverse argument we had on freaking Ranger Podcast Live, where I said anyone who wears black is evil, and I never said that. I just said in Beast Morphers, that's not the point. And then obviously, what about Zeo? I mean, Kamen Rider Geo.
Speaking of black, Onyx from what's it called? From the Japanese version, Ryuga. What's called Orga. What's the Dark Kabuto? Skull in the movie, not in the prologue. Black Riders and Purple Riders are okay. Black Riders are usually evil. Purple Riders are usually heel turns.
Does that mean Kuga's gonna heel turn? Because I'm in the last.
No, not form changes. I mean riders who are base purple.
Okay, because I know Yusuke Godai has the final form, which is his black suit, but I digress. We gotta get back into Saber. Okay, and I obviously 0-1 freaking Hirobi was a bad guy and stayed God.
So with Toma, we got the roast duck.
Okay.
With the mango salsa. Yes, that was a Geico reference.
Anyways, so Tetsuo, so they beat Caliber. Caliber flees, and as they go back to the, and they've all, they regrouped and be like, "Hey, yo, Toma, you good?" They're like, "No, I just used all three of these books. How do you able to move? Because like we trained,
I am training. I lift. Don't you?
Do you lift, bro? Do you even lift?
Yeah, and of course, the mysterious woman is like watching the battle. Just saw the battle, and she's like, So that's the new Swordsman of Fire. That's very interesting. And you see her holding this yellow book in her hand, and I'm curious what that is. And I'm wondering. I'm wondering. She's either Tetsuo's sister or Kento's mom, because Kento's yellow, or who knows, maybe both. Maybe Tetsuo could be his uncle.
Oh God! And so in the right before the episode's over, Caliber and Sophia meet up. She actually goes to him and I think she's trying to stop her. She's trying to ask, "What are you doing? What is your malfunction?" And Caliber's like, being out of here, you are exposed. I can kill you off the dime. And he swings at her, but everyone's favorite number one dad, Ogami, stops him.
Not Horobi, Ogami.
Ogami stops him, but then gets hit himself, and Caliber leaves. And Sophia's checking on Ogami. Ogami's all right, but we don't know what's going on. We don't know the ordeal. All we know is that Caliber heel turned on his fellow Kamen Riders, and they're trying to figure out why. And in the for the next episode, I think they've already confirmed Kento gets a upgrade, and that's pretty much it. And that is episode 9 of Kamen Rider Saber. Mike, I'm gonna let you go first. Do likes and dislikes and overall score. Go ahead.
Let's see, likes. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the dislikes first. My dislike is, they try to establish last episode that we're gonna use more teamwork, but they don't really do it as much. And I think they should establish like certain limitations on Excalibur. It's like you could only use Excalibur's Megazord form if like you're working as a team, and you're not, so you're doing a bad job at that. One issue I had with O's back in the day was the whole main character wins some medals, main character loses some medals, and like you have to keep track of who has which medals. And I am thankful that they didn't fall into that trap this episode, because like when Caliber was about to take those 2 books, I'm like, God damn it, we're doing this thing from O's again. Like, that was, again, O's is a great season. That's just my only complaint. But at least at the end of the episode with O's, they actually show you at the end of the episode which medals the main character has.
Okay.
But with this, it's like they don't show who has which book. So, like, how can you even tell? And it was kind of weird how freaking Oguma had a Quillbolt Hedgehog. That's what I'm calling him. And so it's like who has which books? Why is everyone mixed up like that? It's kind of weird. I can see why people are complaining with the whole toy commercial thing. Like, even because here's the thing. Again, I'm still gonna say how could you not figure out within the last 10 years that Kamen Rider is a 30-minute toy commercial? But even compared to previous seasons, I can see where they're coming from, because it's like this episode we're introduced to 3 new books. 3 new books. Hansel and Gretel, a Bremen rock band, and it's really hard for me to say Slavic words with an American accent, by the way. That's why I was really bad at doing what's it called?
I get you.
That one Halloween costume I did that one time. And of course you got Journey to the West. And I'm thinking 3 in one episode, that is a lot. I mean, unless you introduce new character, unless all 3 of them belonged to the same character, that's fine. But the fact that the 3rd one belonged to Toma, it's just, they're all over the place, and we know there's so many more coming along the way. And I think they're being more aggressive with like making more gimmick toys this year compared to the previous 11 years. And I think part of it has a lot to do with COVID. I'm going to, again, I cannot confirm or deny anything. My hypothesis is because COVID is taking budgets away from the studio. They're probably going to try to like make up for it in toy sales, because that's what a lot of TV shows do when the show isn't doing well. They budget wise or sale or like views wise, they try to make up for it with toy sales. And this is definitely a thing in America. And heck, even in America, they refuse to adapt certain seasons of Power Rangers based on toy sales in Japan. So I hope that's not the case, but it's just too many gimmick toys. One thing I appreciate about watching Showa or even the first half of Heisei is you don't have to deal with gimmick toys as much. I mean, a couple is fine, like with O's, but when you have like as many as they do in freaking
0-1
or worse in in build, because in build there are 60 bottles.
Jesus Christ.
Or heck, Ranger keys.
How many Ranger keys do you collect?
I have over 100 of them. I lost count.
Jesus, dude.
And these are the Japanese versions.
I can tell. I saw Jetman in there at one point.
Yeah. So yeah. Like if you're gonna have a lot of gimmick toys, do it in a way that makes sense. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my issue. I like that Tetsuo actually finally makes the scene. I love his suit. It kind of reminds me of X-Aid, but in a fun way. It's not too gimmicky. But and I love how his persona just changes when like he gets the Bremen Rock Band arm. Because I love it when like you have that of sheer excitement. I have to give the episode an 8.5 out of 10 because it's like there are a lot of good things about the episode, but there's a number of complaints I have that make me like less motivated to enjoy it. And of course, like I hate how that one duckling didn't like evolve into like a swan monster because
oh my God,
because you got all these other duckling monsters like bullying this one for being inferior, and like it's right there. It's like how in Ninja Steel they did a Romeo Juliet plot with a monster,
stop
with
it,
one monster, when a different monster had a literal Romeo Juliet plot with the Blue Ranger.
Stop. We're not talking about that episode of Ninja Steel. We're not talking about Ninja Steel as a general. This is Kamen Rider. We're not talking. Don't confuse.
All I'm saying is, if you're gonna adapt the story, if you're gonna adapt a classic story to the plot of the episode, do it well. It's right there for you.
Don't mix up a bad season of Power Rangers with a promising good season of Kamen Rider. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Anyways, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with my dislikes as well. I've already said it. I'm gonna say it again. I can excuse the Shonen Jump fight for my power of friendship story angle from last episode because it was part of the King Arthur-esque theme of that episode. I can't excuse it in this one because oh my God, there's the amount again. Drinking game. Every time Toma or any of the writers talk about the power of friendship in some way, take your shots, people. Just saying. But I think that was my only gripe with the episode, and y'all can consider it nitpicking. Look, if I could be Jim Cornette for a minute, a couple of times, twice, that's fine. But you mentioned it more than twice. Let's drop the power of friendship thing, and just show it. Show us. Don't tell us about friendship. Show us. Show, don't tell.
Remember how in episode 4, Toma had a red, yellow, blue combo? Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if they actually did something like that, but with Dragon, Lion, Genie? Yeah. Because that way it really would be the power of friendship. Because you had to combine the powers of 3 writers to make that.
If I could be Jim Cornette for a minute, I'm joking. Okay. Having said that, though, let's get to the positives real quick. Tetsuo's debut was really cool. Obviously, booking wise, this was long-term booking because we've had 9 episodes building up to Tetsuo becoming a Kamen Rider because it was already said that he was a Kamen Rider originally, but because certain things happened, he is now a blacksmith. Okay. Now, did they beat you over the head that he's a blacksmith in this episode? Not really, but they hit you enough to be like, okay, clearly he's going to become the next Kamen Rider, and that's what he did. He returned to being a Kamen Rider and whooped a lot of ass. That's pretty cool in my book. And the whole switch personality when he became Bill and Ted essentially, that was really cool. I really liked that. I love the fight going into the story. I love how they did the henshins. They transformed while fighting the Ugly Duckling Squad. I like that. I really enjoy that, and I like the mystery. I like how they're building up more and more because clearly, because I've watched 01, the first 15 episodes is the first arc of the show, and we don't know where it's gonna go. Likely or not, from what the preview of next week's episode is gonna be, there's gonna be a big twist. Either it's gonna be a big twist or it's gonna be something that we already saw coming, and that's likely or not going to be Kento's dad being Caliber or someone else being Caliber. We don't know. And I like the overall mystery and suspense that builds into the next episodes of Saber. I think that's pretty good storytelling. With that being said, it was cool. I liked it. 9 out of 10. Can't complain. I think I like the episode more than you. I mean, I know you gave it an 8.5, but I'm like, I could bump up a little bit because of the suspense that's building up to the next episode.
Right. For me, it's more of an issue of pacing, where it seems like they're cramming a lot of stuff into each episode, but not a lot of stuff happens like arc wise.
So it's like a Marvel movie.
Basically, it's like it falls into those trappings pretty much. And I'm curious as to why it's written that way. Maybe it's because it's the guy who wrote Kamen Rider Ghost, which is infamously the most reviled season, even more than Decade. And
wait, Kamen Rider Ghost.
Or who knows? Maybe they're gonna try to pull a Decade and make the season only 31 episodes. I don't know. I hope for reasons we're going to go into after the comments. I hope it's at least 33 episodes. But speaking of which, let's go to the comments.
All right. Shout out to everyone who's watching thus far. If you haven't yet, on the YouTube side, how you guys doing? Be sure to like. If you like this video, be sure to like this video. Hit a third time, triple like. If you are new to Morphin Network, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification because YouTube's algorithm and YouTube as a whole is changing yet again, is evolving like a freaking Pokemon, and we don't know why. But with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to read the YouTube one because the YouTube comment did not pop up on StreamYard. It's coming from Fox Ranger 3X9. What's up, Fox Ranger? He says, "What's up, guys? Just wanted to say if you guys can just check out my YouTube channel sometime, I would really appreciate it." Sure, dude. Why not? We'd love to help out other Ranger community members, so that's cool. Or Tokusatsu community members. Dope. Michael Brogdon from Henshin Gate. What's up, Mike? He said, "What's up, guys?" And Leo's like, "Oh my god, yeah," because I did not know what the heck Mike was singing. Because I don't know. I only know Japanese. I only know Spanish and a little bit of Chinese. That's about Russian. It. Of course, you know Russian, but that's not here nor there. But yeah, that's pretty much all. That's all the comments, guys. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I know it's a Thursday and it was slow. Everyone's probably chilling at the Veterans Day and everything like that. So once again, guys, if you like this video on YouTube, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And there you go. Bye, YouTube. Anyways, right. Guys, that's it. Yeah, that's it for our episode of the Writer Time Podcast. And we'll be back next week at the exact same time, at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. What's up?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Thanksgiving is the week after.
Thanksgiving is the following. Thanksgiving is the following. I'm 2 steps ahead of you because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the season of the year. Just saying, good food.
It certainly is the most treasured in my family as far as American holidays go.
Gotcha. Wait, hold up. We got another one. Hold up. RG Diaz. What's up, RG? Will Kamen Rider ever be like Power Rangers? Will Kamen Riders ever be like Power Rangers? Yeah.
Well, they kind of are this season.
I mean, yeah, they are right now. Like Kamen Rider Saber.
Yeah, they got like Blade, like freaking Saber's the Red Ranger, Blades is the Blue Ranger, Kenzan is the Yellow Ranger. Sorry, Kenzan's the Green Ranger. Espada's the Yellow Ranger. Buster is the Black Ranger, and now we have a Pink Ranger.
Yeah,
who's
there you
also
go.
A dude.
Yeah, that's the Kamen Riders. There you go. And it's not the first time we see a pink Kamen Rider. We saw friggin' Jin as Kamen Rider Wing before he became Inferno Wing. So
and you got X8, Decade. He's pink. He's light red. TJ Omega, please re-upload that video. Please re-upload that video.
But yeah, other than that, and also 01. Because 01, you had, because I'm pretty sure there have been multiple.
Oh yeah, 01 is magenta, just like Decade.
Yeah, and I've asked you this before. There have been seasons of Kamen Rider where there have been multiple Kamen Riders in a season, like Kamen Rider Ryuki or Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. For me, you have multiple Kamen Riders,
right?
So
yeah, it's just not often for them to like be teaming up in this large group so early on in the season, because like usually you have to wait like 7 episodes for the second writer to show up, and then what's it called, and then you have to have a rivalry probably, and then you have to have like a couple more writers show up, and then like around episode 37 is when they finally start teaming up. Like freaking Kamen Rider Blade, like by the time all 4 writers were actually teamed up, the show's already in its 40s. Yeah. Okay. We got another comment. We got another comment from Fox Ranger. Who is your favorite Power Ranger bad guy from Wild Force?
Zanaku,
definitely Zanaku. I mean, look, Master Org is great, but like Jindrax and Toxica, they're delightful. But if you need a favorite, it's Zanaku.
Master Org is one of the most petty bad guys in Power Rangers, and he's the main villain. Because he got friend zoned, I'm going to kill the woman that I like, her husband, and try to kill their son.
He's basically Voldemort.
He's Voldemort. Instead of, I don't know, just taking a breather in Vegas, have a few drinks and stuff like that, regroup, get a job at like NASA or Tesla, and work on really cool things. Yeah.
but you know who's one of my least favorites? What's it called? Kage, like the freaking Ninja Org.
I know which one you're talking about, but I don't remember.
I hate that guy. He is scum. He made Toxica break her own horn.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yeah. But like I said, Zanaku is our favorite because Zanaku and Merrick is as close as we get to a live action JoJo Bizarre than we could possibly dream of. But I digress. Anyways, thank you guys so much. This is the Writer Time Podcast. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow Morphin Network on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.com/MorphinNet. Follow us here on YouTube at Morphin Network, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MorphinNet. If you want to get a hold of any of us, find me on Twitter, Instagram, @Reckless_Fox, YouTube, Reckless_Fox, and follow Always Game content on Twitch.tv/RecklessFox. And you want more content, myself, Mike, Jen, Thunder Chica, we do our own video game podcast every weekend, the Scroll Game Podcast. You can find the Scroll Game Podcast on SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. We'll be going into Stitcher Radio and iHeartRadio and potentially Anchor at some point. Well, that being said, Mike, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BelkinKabuto. And you can find me on Instagram at @Chrono_Just_Cosplay.
And that being said, before we leave you, you already know the deal. We are about to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider. And, well, Mike, show us the next thing. Till then, see y'all later. Peace. Hit it.
Kyo no Kamen Rider wa?
Kamen Rider Black.
Kamen Rider Black aired on October 4th, 1987 for 51 episodes.
Kotaro Minami and Nobuhiko Akatsuki were adopted as brothers, born the same day during a solar eclipse.
On their 19th birthday, the two were kidnapped by the religious cult Gorgum to become candidates as their Century King.
Kotaro was freed by his stepfather after receiving his Kingstone and was forced to leave and injured Nobuhiko behind.
The mutation allows Kotaro to become Kamen Rider Black, protecting the innocent from Gorgum with the aid of his sentient motorcycle.
A brainwashed Nobuhiko is revived, resulting in a battle of supremacy between the Black Sun and the Shadow Moon.
Until we meet again, I'll see you next week. Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is March 5th to the 7th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia, and Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.